Hello, everybody. You're watching the fifth episode of Transatlantic Crypto Podcast. And of course, we are here with you and me, Eugene CryptoEmcee from Belarus, from the European side, and my co-host, Mr. R.L. Breyer, aka Pittsburgh HODLr, the renowned author of the Blockchain Renaissance book, and very clever guy. He has been on Bitcoin crypto space since 2009. You remember that? So, how are you, my friend? How's it going in the United States?
Very good. It's good to be back with you again. I always have a good time getting up early, getting a quick workout in, ate an orange, and now it's time to do a little crypto talk with you, blockchain talk. I'm always excited.
Yeah. First of all, I want to start with great thanks for you, my friend, because your idea to make this podcast you made in the end of 2019 was one of the brilliant ideas in my life, because that's the best way of studying English. And for my Russian-speaking friends, I know too many of them are watching this video right now. Start a podcast with a Native American or Native British guy, because that's the best way to improve your English. And you do understand that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Let's start with, I have got two brand new experiences this week. May I start with talking with first one?
Absolutely.
A guy from LA, from California, named Adam Meister, he calls himself the Bitcoin Meister, found me a couple of days ago on email and said, Eugene, you're from Belarus, and I hear that Belarus and Sweden are only two countries in Europe who had not declared the state of quarantine. Why? And after that, we arranged him the podcast. He invited two guys, one lady from Germany, Anita Porsche. She's a very clever Bitcoin lady, and she helped Andres Antonopoulos to translate his book, Mastering Bitcoin, into German language. And the second guy was Bartolomeo from Toronto, Canada. I'm sorry for my not distorting his name. And we talked 1 hour with Adam. Adam is he makes a performance. You all American guys are making performance. You are born with, and we are learning with you. And he is making so emotionally, maybe even over emotionally, but it's interesting to watch. And he's an anarcho-capitalist and true libertarian. It was so pleasure to speak with him about freedom, to tell about dictatorship, about Putin and Lukashenko we're experiencing the last 25 years here. He took out all my pains, and I told him all the truth. I was collecting all these years. There was an amazing experience, and I invited. He knows about you, and I invited him. I said to him that invite us with R.L. Breyer from Pittsburgh, and you from LA, and me from Belarus, and let's do it together. So we are waiting for his invitation in
Absolutely.
Future weeks.
I would love to do that. That's pretty cool that you went on there. Yeah, Americans have especially Americans in the Bitcoin blockchain ecosystem are kind of theatrical. So that's funny you put it like that. Yeah.
And yesterday was my second experience. Yesterday we're celebrating LibLand's 5th anniversary online at the LibLand's conference. I know many of you guys watching this video know what LibLand is. LibLand is a small piece of land on the border of Serbia and Croatia, as I do remember. The president Vít Jedlička is a very clever-minded guy from Prague, from Czech, and he established LibLand in 2015. And yesterday we did 7+ hours online conference, 27 speakers from real transatlantic. Half of the guys were sitting in Europe, Czech, me in Belarus, and so on. And other couple of guys were sitting in the United States. And just listen for the names of the speakers who were yesterday. I just wanted to read them, and you know them. Because Vít Jedlička, personally, Roger Ver, he was with us yesterday. John DeLee from Malta, Walter Block, yes, the renowned Walter Block
Walter
from
Block was
Mises
there.
University, Mises Institute, the renowned author of defending the undefendable, the guy who made me libertarian, and now yesterday I talked to him personally. I announced him. That's the happiest day in my life. Was the happiest day in my life, right?
Tom Woods has a thing about Walter Block about how he's written like over 500 peer-reviewed articles or something crazy, and that it must be all he does.
Yeah. So Brock Pierce, the renowned crypto pioneer and philanthropist, entrepreneur, Brock Pierce, he is renowned hat, you know what I mean? Then other guys, Jeff Berwick from Anarcho, of course, he was with us. He did a very, I even don't find words to describe his talk, but he almost killed the government. He almost killed the quarantine idea, like he did every episode of it. But Jeff was rocking very cool. Ron Paul was with that, but not personally video, but I announced Ron Paul, so that's another
That's awesome.
life I had reached. And David Friedman, the famous David Friedman, the author of The Machinery of Freedom, the book I read in 2015 when Vityadishka established Liberal Land. So I was so happy. The guy who made me libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, they were on my screen in my room, and I announced them like an MC. That's the dream. That's how the dream comes true.
What a cool honor, and like a complete finish to how you started, and then you get on there with some of your idols. It's pretty cool to do, and I'm also a fan of the majority of those guys. At least I can say that. And I can't wait to watch it. I messaged you yesterday. I wanted to watch it yesterday, and it wasn't out yet. And then I want to watch the Adam Meister podcast as well. I'm excited to watch it.
I'm publishing right now all the
Okay.
content. Adams and a little bit. Of course, I will give you a link here. Our viewers will see it. And I especially want to mention 4 MCs. We had yesterday. We had 4 MCs. The guy from Canada, Adam Carswell, famous Liberal podcaster. Me, Eugene from Belarus. Jillian from Ireland, and Daniel Rutschel from New York. Cool guys. So it was best place in internet where all the brilliant minds were gathered by Vityadishka and Liberland team. It was the happiest day of my life. So I'm so happy to say that. That's the story of my week.
Did you get an intermission yesterday, or was it completely? They keep you on there the whole day.
It kept me all the day, 7 hours, 7+ hours. Of course, I was not conducting all because of 4 MCs. We had 5 blocks, and I had 2 from 5 blocks. But it kept me in working situation. I couldn't. Wasn't able to rest during these 7 hours. The content was about Liberland and its developing, all the stuff concerning Liberland, and other part of Canada was theoretical explanation about libertarianism, anarcho-capitalism, freedom, and so on and so forth. It was nice, and I hope our viewers will see this conference by the private links we will give them. So what was your week? Just share your
Just
goals.
Putting out as much content as I can. I've actually been releasing the last few days. I released 4 or 5 static videos this week, I think. Putting out a little bit about what's going on with the economy, the $2 trillion stimulus package that the United States is going to bury future generations with, and it won't take effect completely until a generation from now. We'll saddle up these people with even more debt. But I did a lot of videos, and I'm working on a manifesto right now about blockchain. It's like 2 pages long. I'm going to try to keep it under that. It's like 1.5 pages right now, and it's all about interoperability and something I wanted to talk about today when we get into it about Chainlink, Bitcoin, and how I think all this stuff's going to mesh.
Mesh networks is a web-free version. As I heard.
Yeah, I've been really. I'll just show you right now. Actually, the if that's all right, screen share real quick here.
Let's start
I never screen share on the show, so if I screw up.
Good, good.
But yeah, so Chainlink, if nobody, I'm really interested in this because not just the price, it's up over 500% for the year. And we're not moon boys. We don't focus on the price a lot, but it is an indication of the market telling us that this has a lot of value. And this is really what I wrote about in my books. And it's coming true, I think. And I was one of the first people in Bitcoin, but now I won't lie. I slept on Chainlink a little bit. Now I'm researching it more. And this is how it works. You go over to their site, but what it's going to do is Chainlink is going to let us, blockchains communicate with external databases and create the ability to, different blockchains and different databases talk and do external communication, in real time. So smart contracts can communicate and I think the overall value of the entire, and cryptos, obviously, the overall value of the entire blockchain community is just going to explode when people realize what they're doing. And then it's also interesting to look at all the partnerships. I wasn't aware of this. All the partnerships that Chainlink has made, and you just look at the first few: Google Cloud, Oracle, dApps Inc., Matic, Reserve, Hedera, Hashgraph, IOST, Binance, Bet Protocol, Ethereum Classic, Chiliz, Blockchain. They're the ones that I think are doing all the sports clubs. Yeah, they're the ones working all the sports clubs to mint their own tokens. So it's really interesting to me what they're up to. Before the dip a few weeks ago, it was up over 1,000%. But I think this is really going to be the future of this is really going to take the utility of the blockchain space up. Just it's going to be a remarkable amount more productive. Today we just have tokenization and stuff, but with this, we're going to be able to actually let without the need for tokenization won't be as vast, and we're going to be able to just increase the entire value of every network. And that's one thing that I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, and I get a little bit of flack from certain maximalists, how are you not a maximalist or whatever, Bitcoin's the only one, blah blah blah. It's just not my thing. We need the competition, and not everything can be built on Bitcoin, and money is a good like anything else, and I've said this before. And without competition, Bitcoin becomes fiat, digital fiat, in my opinion, digital fiat crypto, where it's the Bitcoin decree. So I think with the competition, it pushes the development of Bitcoin to a new level, and all the other blockchains that are competing with Bitcoin to a new level. And then we bring in Chainlink and the Oracle, and the ability for these decentralized oracles to work together to just create just value that we can't even imagine right now. I really think this is like the future of the blockchain space. So I've been studying that a lot.
Okay. I have a couple more questions for you, because you are the main source of no fake news from United States for us, for my friends who are constantly watching all my videos. First is, I heard that New York is keeping second place in the world, or in the United States, I may be mistaken, by the death rate from coronavirus. You are nearby New York. What's the situation right now?
Yeah, actually, New York is the epicenter right now of I had Chainlink on my brain. New York is the epicenter for corona cases in the United States. So I think that's a fact. I don't know the exact numbers right now, but we talked about this before, I think, on here and on the Transatlantic Crypto podcast. And I said from the onset of this corona, virus outbreak, that I really believe that the economic impact could have a more drastic result than the actual virus. And I still believe that. I think that, I don't know the exact number of deaths to, unemployment, if you were to use that correlation or causation, but we're still under 20,000 deaths in the United States, I believe, or right around that figure. The seasonal flu kills 45,000 a year on average the last 3 years. So that's 45,000. So we're not even half there. And we just shut down our economy. And I think I still believe that the overall decision to do that could be more drastic, more harmful than the actual virus, even though I sympathize with anyone who's lost somebody or anything like that. But I'm looking at the bigger picture and the possibility that more, we're going to get a worst case scenario with the economic fallout. So you have to really you can't just look at the one that's in front of your face. You kind of have to look at the big picture.
Well, let's switch to my next question. I've almost predicted that. Concerning the economics, it's been very popular in our Russian-speaking places to compare the ways governments help the economies. So they say, American government is giving $6 trillion for American business for supporting the economic crisis, and you, motherfuckers from the Russian government, don't give nothing for them. Be like Americans. Tell me the truth about this myth of this $6 trillion. Do they exist, and who will be the main actual recipient, beneficiary?
Right. The people that are going to get this money are going to, it's $10,000 for every, what it will cost. Okay. So they're giving every American under $100,000 income $1,250, but the actual cost of that is like $10,000 per individual. So you're trading like a 10 to 1. You're getting 1,000, but a little over 1,000, but the actual debt that you're incurring is $10,000, and no individual would. This is like one of the Austrian theory. Some way you would make an analogy is that no individual would run their individual finances like the government does. You would be homeless, So this is all going to have this is true that they're printing all this money, but like you said, who's going to benefit from this printing? And it's going to be the same people that benefit every time, the people that cause the problem, the people in Wall Street and the banks, and then they go and lobby the government. Our politicians in the United States, a lot of them come into office, they had never made any wealth. They're lifelong politicians like Bernie Sanders, and they espouse communism, or he calls it socialism, but it's really communism. And they have these ideas that we can just print money to get out of this problem, but printing money is the reason we are in the we're in this situation. So it's just a never-ending debt cycle until they collapse the dollar, and I don't know when that'll happen, but it's all paper money. Reverts to its real value, is what Voltaire said, which is zero. And this is just a prime example, and we're living it in the United States since we left the gold standard in 1971 under Richard Nixon. That paper money always, as the government grows, paper money just becomes more and more worthless, because no government can resist the ability to inflate away the wealth of the masses to benefit the people in office. So the Russians should be thankful that they're not printing money.
Yeah, let's finish with two questions. Traditionally, how many copies of your blockchain Renaissance have you sold till this moment?
It's actually, this has been my best month in a few months. I don't know the number, but it's quite a few have been sold. I was surprised how many people are looking for something to do right now. I typically just send them out now to people 2 at a time. So I send them both volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. At briar.io is where you can get those in my shop. Selfless plug there, but you brought it up. And I shipped quite a few. Sold one the other day in Lebanon, Canada, all over the world, over 40 countries. I quit keeping track. It could be over 50 now, but it's pretty. It's exciting because this is what we've been waiting for. I don't like to, be too excited about an economic crisis because of a virus, but this is a good opportunity for people like you and I to educate people on Austrian economics. And it seems like I said, with I view the book's spike in sales as a way to have a metric of people wanting to learn. So it's a good indication to me that people are wanting to figure out what's going on and looking for an alternative to debt-based money.
Yeah, I conclude that we Austrians and Austrians are right now in the right place and right time with our huge amount of knowledge we have collected recent years. Now we can share this knowledge like we do here in a podcast, Transatlantic Podcast, and other good contents you can find all over the internet. And the last, your commentary on the Bitcoin price, as you traditionally do.
Yeah, it's I think right around $6,900 as we got on here today. Like you and I don't talk about too much about price, but it is fun to keep an eye on it. And we are under 5,000 blocks, I think. Let me check real quick. We're under total blocks till mining is halved, 4,382. So we're getting close, and we're 29 days away from the halving, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens. I'll just say one thing real quick on mining is that people are like, what's going to happen with the mining? This is the freest market in the world, and this is just another example of the people who take land, labor, and capital, the three factors of production and capitalism, put them together. The people, the mining companies, and the individuals that prepared for this will flourish, and the market will wash away the people that didn't do an efficient job of preparing. And that's the beauty. They can go do something else and provide value to the market in another realm. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next 18 months after this halving is finally occurs.
So that's the situation we have been trapped in, ladies and gentlemen. So only knowledge and your personal responsibility and your openness for innovation can save ourselves. So study economics, we do mean, and listen to great content such as Transatlantic Podcast with my co-host rlbriar.io. Find the link below. Buy the Blockchain Renaissance book and me, Eugene, CryptoEmcee, right here, right now. Stay tuned for next episode. See ya.